Alright, now we've reached what I like to call the most annoying part of the whole electroplating process: polishing. This is where patience really matters. Even though the piece is already copper-plated, the surface isn't smooth or shiny yet. You'll see scratches, uneven textures, and that dull matte look. To get that mirror-like finish, we have to polish it step by step. I start off with the white compound, which is a diamond-based paste. This step is all about removing those deep scratches that were left behind during sanding or from the plating buildup. Think of it like leveling out the surface before we even think about adding shine. The diamond compound cuts into the copper just enough to smooth out those imperfections, and you'll notice right away that the surface begins to even out. Now, this part can take a while. It's not something you can rush. You have to keep the motion steady, keep checking your angles, and make sure you're hitting every little detail of the print. Especially with 3D prints, you'll see layer lines or small bumps that got covered in plating, and polishing is what blends them in. I keep going over it until most of those deeper marks are reduced, because if you skip this step, no matter how much you polish later, those scratches will always show. It's a long process, it can be messy, and honestly, it's the most time-consuming part, but it's worth it. This is what transforms the piece from just plated to finished. The Cubone pendant will look like it came straight out of a jewelry store once it's done. Once I'm happy with the diamond compound stage, I'll wipe the piece clean and move on to finer compounds. Each one is less aggressive and designed to bring out more shine. By the time I get to the final polish, the piece starts looking completely different. That's when you see the copper come alive with a reflective glow. Now that I've taken care of most of the deeper scratches with the white diamond compound, it's time to switch over to the red block, also known as red rouge. This polishing compound is much finer, and instead of cutting deep into the surface, it smooths things out and starts to bring out that bright reflective shine. When I work with the red rouge, I like to move slower and let the compound do the work. You'll notice right away that the surface of the pendant begins to change from a dull, flat copper tone to something more glossy. This step is all about building up that shine and evening out the finish after the heavy work we did earlier. I'll keep going with the red rouge until the entire pendant has an even, glassy look. At this point, it's not just polished copper anymore. It starts looking like a finished piece of jewelry. As I keep working with the red rouge, you can actually start to see the mirror shine forming on the surface. This is the most satisfying part of polishing, watching a dull, rough-looking copper finish slowly transform into a reflective surface. Give it a quick clean and rinse.